There's something about empaths that makes them a target for narcissists. It's not something that happens by chance. Narcissists are incredibly skilled at spotting the people who have the capacity to care deeply, who feel the pain of others, who can see beyond the surface. They know that empaths are their perfect prey, and they'll stop at nothing to exploit that. But why? Why do they specifically target empaths? Let me break it down for you. Empaths are a rare breed. You feel things on a level that most people can't comprehend. Your heart is wide open. You have the ability to understand and connect with people in ways that others just can't. And that's beautiful. But it's also dangerous when it comes to narcissists. They can feel that openness, that kindness, that desire to help, and they use it to their advantage. Narcissists crave attention, admiration, and control, and empaths, with their deep well of compassion, are the perfect people to feed that endless void. The first thing you need to understand is that narcissists don't just want love, they want power. And they get that power by manipulating others into giving them what they need. And who better to manipulate than someone who cares so deeply about others, someone who wants to see the best in people, someone who believes that they can help others be better. It's this genuine, unguarded nature that narcissists latch onto. They know that an empath will always give them the benefit of the doubt. They know that an empath is going to want to see the good. Even when it's buried beneath a pile of lies and manipulation, narcissists prey on that ability to empathize, using it to keep you hooked in a cycle of giving without ever receiving in return. But the thing is, empaths often have a hard time saying no. They're afraid of hurting others, of causing pain. So when a narcissist shows up, charming, manipulative, and full of promises, they quickly take advantage. And it's not always obvious at first. They know how to win you over. They're master manipulators. They'll tell you what you want to hear. They'll play to your emotions. They'll mirror your values and make you believe that they are exactly what you've been looking for. But this is where it gets dangerous. They're not interested in loving you. They're interested in controlling you, in feeding off your energy, in draining you until there's nothing left. Narcissists thrive on emotional supply, and empaths are their preferred source. You're like a battery that never runs out of charge. But here's the kicker: you're giving all your energy to someone who has no intention of ever reciprocating. They'll keep taking until you're empty. They'll use your kindness, your patience, and your willingness to help as a weapon against you. And the worst part, you'll keep giving because you believe in the goodness of people. You want to help them. You want to fix things. But you cannot fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed. And you cannot give someone enough of what they need if they are constantly draining you. The reason narcissists target empaths is simple. They see the opportunity for control. They know that empaths won't fight back immediately. They know that you're more likely to forgive, more likely to try again, more likely to see the good in them, even when they're showing you their worst side. They exploit your compassion, your vulnerability, and your need for connection to keep you trapped in their web. They feed on your empathy because, let's face it, you're one of the few people who will always put others first, even when it means sacrificing your own well-being. But here's the truth. The moment you realize this, the moment you understand why they target you, is the moment you take your power back. You are not here to be manipulated. You are not here to be someone else's emotional punching bag. You are here to live a life of abundance, a life where you give from a place of strength, not depletion. Empaths have incredible power, but the key is learning how to protect that power, how to set boundaries, and how to stop allowing people to take what is yours. It's time to recognize when someone is trying to use you. It's time to stop believing that your worth is in how much you give to others, especially when they aren't giving anything back. It's time to take back control of your energy, your emotions, and your life, because you are not here to be a source of energy for someone else's endless need for validation. You are here to thrive, to grow, and to connect with people who respect and value you, not drain you. So if you find yourself in a relationship with a narcissist, or if you're surrounded by people who only take and never give, I want you to stop. I want you to take a step back and ask yourself, what do I need? What do I deserve? And I want you to answer that with confidence, with power, and with the deep knowledge that you are worthy of respect, of love, and of balance. You are not here to be someone else's emotional ATM. You are here to live fully, to embrace your gifts, and to give them to the world in a way that empowers you, not depletes you. Empaths, you are strong. You are powerful, but you have to know your worth. You have to stop letting people take from you without giving anything back. You have to set boundaries, and you have to protect your heart, because you are not here to be used. You are here to shine. Empaths are unique, there's no doubt about it. You feel things deeply, you can sense the emotional energy in a room, and you have this extraordinary ability to connect with people on a level that most others can't. You care, and because you care, people are naturally drawn to you. But there's one thing that people who don't have your best interests at heart can do. They can see your kindness, your empathy, and your open heart as an opportunity. Narcissists, in particular, have a keen sense for this. They recognize the open space you leave in your energy for others, and they swoop in like predators, ready to take advantage of your generosity. And the scariest part, you don't even realize they're doing it at first. Narcissists are often very skilled at hiding their true intentions, and they can be incredibly charming when they want something. And guess what? What they want from you is what you have in abundance: your empathy, your emotional energy, and your capacity to love without conditions. They target you because they know that, as an empath, you're more likely to give them the benefit of the doubt. You're the kind of person who doesn't just see a person's behavior, you see their potential, their struggles, and you think, maybe, just maybe, I can help them. This is what makes you so beautiful as an empath, but it also makes you vulnerable. Narcissists know this, and they use it to their advantage. Here's the thing. Narcissists don't seek relationships for mutual benefit. They seek relationships for self-validation and control. They're not interested in giving, they're interested in taking. And they're very good at getting what they want. At first, they'll give you attention, they'll praise you for your kindness, your sensitivity, your ability to connect. They'll play on your emotions, and you'll start to feel seen, heard, and valued in a way you may have never felt before. They will give you just enough to keep you hooked. Just enough praise, just enough attention, just enough to make you believe that this is the love and connection you've always been looking for. They'll make you feel special, like you're the only one who truly gets them. And that's exactly what you want. You want to believe in people, you want to believe in the possibility of love, and so you let yourself be drawn into their world. But here's where the trap is set. Over time, that attention becomes a need. You get used to it. You begin to crave their validation because it feels good, but it's fleeting. It's inconsistent. One moment, they'll shower you with praise and affection, and the next, they'll pull back, leaving you questioning what happened. Why are they suddenly distant? What did you do wrong? And that's exactly where the narcissist's power lies. They've created an emotional roller coaster. One that's designed to keep you hooked. They've mastered the art of giving just enough to keep you coming back for more, while taking just enough of your emotional energy to make you feel exhausted, confused, and uncertain. But you're not crazy. You're not overreacting, and you're not imagining it. Narcissists are skilled at manipulating the emotions of those around them, and they target empaths because they know that your kindness and your empathy make you an easy target. They know that you'll always believe in the best of people, and that's exactly what they're counting on. They play on your natural desire to help, to heal, and to love, but they never have any intention of reciprocating that love in a genuine, healthy way. They want to take from you emotionally, mentally, and sometimes even physically, without ever giving back. The worst part, you'll find yourself questioning your own instincts. You'll begin to doubt your own worth because the narcissist has a way of making you feel like you're always falling short, always needing to do more to keep their attention. You'll think that maybe you're not doing enough, maybe you're not loving enough, and that's exactly the kind of mental trap they want to put you in. It's not your fault. It's their manipulation, but now that you know this, now that you see what's happening, you can take your power back. You don't have to let anyone take advantage of your kindness. You don't have to let anyone use your empathy as a tool for their own emotional gain. The first step in breaking free from this cycle is recognizing it for what it is. Narcissists target empaths because they know that empaths will give without hesitation, but you don't have to give yourself away. You are worthy of respect, love, and energy that is reciprocated. You don't have to accept manipulation as a form of connection. You deserve real love, love that nourishes you, not drains you. Empaths are not just sensitive to emotions, they feel them deeply, often absorbing the energy around them like a sponge. This makes you incredibly empathetic and compassionate, but it also makes you more vulnerable to people who want to exploit your kindness. Narcissists know this. They see your emotional depth as something they can use to their advantage. And here's the problem: you are highly susceptible to their manipulation because you have this deep-seated need to see the best in people. You want to help, you want to heal, and you want to believe that people can change. But narcissists are not interested in changing. They're interested in controlling, using, and draining you for their own personal gain. You see, narcissists know that empaths have this tendency to put others first. You care deeply about people, and you want to be there for them when they need you. It's just in your nature to do so. And this is exactly why narcissists target you. They feed off your compassion. In the beginning, they'll show just enough interest in your well-being to hook you. They'll charm you with their attentiveness. They'll tell you all the things you want to hear. And they'll make you feel like you're the most important person in their world. In fact, at first, you might feel like you've met your soulmate, your perfect match, the person who gets you. And because you're so used to giving emotionally to those around you, you open up, thinking this might be the connection you've always longed for. But it's a trick. It's a set up. Narcissists know exactly how to make you feel valued, at least for a short time. They know how to pull you in with their words, their attention, and their promises. But this attention is not about genuine connection. It's about control. They know that empaths are drawn to people who seem vulnerable, people who need help, and people who seem to have a tragic backstory. Narcissists play the role of the victim to manipulate you. They make you believe that you're the only one who can understand them, the only one who can fix them. And that's how they pull you into their emotional web. And you, being the kind-hearted person you are, want to help. You want to fix the broken pieces. You want to be the one that makes things right. The problem is narcissists never really want to change. They don't want to heal, and they certainly don't want to fix anything. What they want is a constant supply of attention, validation, and admiration. And empaths, with their deep emotional connection to others, are the perfect source for this. Narcissists target your ability to feel deeply and care for others, knowing that you will always try to make things better, even if it means sacrificing your own emotional well-being in the process. And let's be clear, narcissists are not vulnerable in the way that you think they are. They manipulate your empathy by playing on your desire to help them, but underneath it all, they are emotionally closed off. They use you to get what they want, whether that's constant admiration, attention, or validation. Once they've gotten their emotional supply from you, they'll discard you, or worse, they'll leave you confused, questioning your self-worth. You'll wonder why you gave so much and received so little in return, but it's because they never intended to give anything back. Their entire relationship with you is based on manipulation. Now, let's talk about the emotional roller coaster they put you through. At first, they give you attention, love, and compliments. They make you feel special, like you're the only one who really understands them. This is called love bombing, and it's meant to hook you. You think this is real? You think they care about you as much as you care about them, but it's all a facade. Over time, the love bombing fades, and you're left with confusion. Why are they suddenly distant? Why don't they seem to care as much as they did before? This is when the narcissist begins their emotional manipulation. They'll criticize you, belittle you, and make you doubt your worth. And you, the empath, will blame yourself. You'll think it's your fault that if you just loved harder, did more, gave more, maybe they'd return to the person they were when they first wooed you. But the truth is, the narcissist never changed. They just got what they wanted, and now they're moving on to the next person to feed off of. The most painful part of all of this is that you end up questioning your own emotions, your own reality. You start to wonder if you're too sensitive, if you're overreacting, or if you're just imagining things. This is the insidious nature of narcissistic manipulation. They confuse you so much that you start to doubt yourself. They know how to play with your emotions to get what they want, and it's so subtle, so crafty, that you don't even realize what's happening until you're already emotionally drained and completely entangled in their web. It's a toxic cycle of giving, hoping, and being disappointed. But here's the truth you need to hear: you're not the problem. Your kindness, your empathy, your emotional depth, they are not weaknesses. They are your superpowers. The real problem is the narcissist's manipulation and the way they take advantage of your genuine desire to help others. You have to start protecting your energy, setting boundaries, and realizing that your empathy should never be taken for granted. When you learn to recognize manipulation for what it is, you can start breaking free from these toxic relationships and reclaim your own sense of self-worth. The next time a narcissist tries to pull you in, you'll be ready. You'll recognize the signs and you'll protect your emotional well-being because you deserve relationships that lift you up, not drain you dry. Narcissists have a unique way of making you feel like you're the one who's wrong, even when you know deep down that they are the ones causing the chaos. It's called gaslighting, and it's one of the most toxic tactics they use to control you. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where they twist the truth, deny your experiences, and make you doubt your own reality. The goal? To make you question your sanity, your judgment, and even your worth. And this is how they keep you hooked. In the beginning, everything might seem perfect. The narcissist may come across as charming, affectionate, and completely invested in you. They make you feel special, as if you're the most important person in their world. But this is all part of the manipulation. They're not genuinely invested in you. They're invested in what they can get from you. They're setting the stage for their ultimate move. It starts small. They might tell you that you're overreacting when something feels off, or they'll insist that you're being too sensitive when you express a legitimate concern. Slowly, over time, these little comments start to chip away at your confidence, and here's the thing, they're very good at it. They know exactly what buttons to push. You may find yourself in situations where you feel certain that they said something or that they promised something, but when you bring it up, they deny it. They'll say things like, "You're just imagining things," or "That never happened." You start to second guess yourself. "Maybe I did misunderstand." You might think, maybe I am overreacting." This is gaslighting at work, and it's subtle. They're not always overt about it. They don't have to be. It's a slow process that wears you down, making you more and more dependent on their version of reality. Narcissists excel at creating confusion. They play on your emotions, your desire for connection, and your need to feel seen and heard. And when they gaslight you, it's not just about denying your reality, it's about gaining control over you. When they manipulate you in this way, they make you question your ability to trust yourself. It's like they are slowly taking your power bit by bit. They create doubt in your mind, and when you start to doubt yourself, they become the source of truth in your life. Their version of events becomes the only one that matters, and you're left feeling lost, confused, and disoriented. This is a dangerous cycle because it can make you feel like you need them to validate your thoughts and emotions. When they deny what's clearly happened, you begin to rely on them to tell you what's real. And in doing so, you lose your ability to trust your instincts. You might even find yourself apologizing for things you haven't done or trying to justify your feelings to them. The worst part, the narcissist will never take responsibility for their actions. They'll always shift the blame onto you, turning everything into your fault. As this cycle continues, it erodes your sense of self-worth. You start to feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, trying to avoid conflict, trying to please them, and trying to make sure you don't trigger their anger or disappointment. You want their love and approval, so you become more and more dependent on them for validation. But in the end, it's a never-ending loop of emotional manipulation where you give more and more of yourself, and they take more and more. The most insidious part of gaslighting is that it's not always obvious. Narcissists are masters at making you feel like you're the one who's crazy or irrational. They'll twist your words, reinterpret your actions, and deny your experiences in ways that make you feel like you're losing touch with reality. And because they've played this game so many times before, they know exactly how to get away with it. They know how to make you feel like you're in the wrong, even when you're not. This creates a toxic dynamic where you start to question everything, your thoughts, your feelings, your memories. But here's the truth, you're not crazy, you're not overreacting, your feelings are valid, and your reality is just as important as anyone else's. The narcissist wants you to doubt yourself so that they can control the narrative. They want to be the one who defines your reality, but you don't have to let them. You don't have to let them manipulate you into thinking you're the problem. You are allowed to trust your instincts, trust your emotions, and trust your experiences. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. What you are feeling is real, and you deserve to be in relationships where your thoughts and emotions are respected. The most important thing you can do when dealing with a narcissist who is gaslighting you is to start reclaiming your power. Trust yourself. Stand firm in your truth. Don't let them twist your reality to suit their needs. Remember, they are the ones manipulating the situation, not you. It's time to break free from their control and take back your sense of self. because once you do, you'll start to see them for who they really are. Someone who will do anything to keep you confused, disoriented, and emotionally dependent on them. And once you see it, you'll be able to break free. It's crucial to understand that when a narcissist begins to gaslight you, they're not doing it out of love, care, or a sense of concern for your well-being. They're doing it for control. Narcissists thrive on power, on being the center of attention, on having the upper hand in any relationship. They want to dominate you emotionally, psychologically, and sometimes even physically, and gaslighting is one of the most effective tools in their arsenal. They don't care about your truth, they care about bending you to their will. And they do this by making you believe that their version of reality is the only one that matters. Here's how it works. At first, gaslighting can feel subtle. You might have moments where your thoughts or feelings are dismissed, where you're told you're overreacting, or that your perception of events doesn't line up with what they say happened. Over time, however, it becomes more aggressive. The narcissist will convince you that the things you remember, your truths, are lies, and you'll start questioning your reality. And once that starts happening, it becomes a dangerous emotional roller coaster that you can't seem to get off of. They begin to manipulate your emotions to the point where you're no longer sure of yourself. And this is what they do. Narcissists are not content with simply being right. They want to own the truth. They want to be the authority on everything in your life. When they gaslight you, they systematically undermine your confidence and your ability to trust yourself. They make you second guess everything. They'll tell you that you didn't hear something the way you think you did. They'll say you didn't feel the way you know you did. They'll make you feel as though your sense of reality is warped and that their perspective is the only one that's real. And in doing so, they take away your power. The danger of this is that when a narcissist convinces you that your thoughts, feelings, and memories are invalid, you start to believe that you don't have control over your own life. You begin to rely on them to tell you what's real. You begin to doubt your own judgment and look to them for validation. This dynamic is incredibly toxic. It's a trap, and the longer you stay in it, the harder it is to break free. You may find yourself apologizing for things that weren't your fault, constantly trying to explain yourself, or trying to make sense of things that don't even need explaining. You might find yourself trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, constantly seeking their approval, constantly trying to get them to see things your way, when in reality, they've already manipulated you into believing that their way is the only way. And here's the real kicker. The narcissist doesn't care about you. They don't care about your feelings, your needs, or your well-being. They care about themselves, about their own ego, and about feeding that ego with your energy, your validation, and your emotional labor. When they gaslight you, they are not concerned with how it affects you. They are concerned with maintaining control over you. And the more you let them control your perception of reality, the more power they gain. The more you doubt yourself, the more they can manipulate you into believing that they are the only person who understands you, the only one who can make you feel whole. But here's the truth. You don't need their validation. You don't need them to define your reality. You are strong enough, smart enough, and capable enough to trust yourself and to stand in your own truth. The more you allow a narcissist to manipulate you with gaslighting, the more you lose sight of who you truly are. The longer you stay in that fog of confusion, the more it becomes impossible to see clearly. But once you break free from their grasp, once you start recognizing their tactics for what they are, you'll begin to reclaim your power. It's not easy, though. It's not simple. It requires you to make a decision to trust yourself again, to set boundaries, and to stop seeking validation from someone who only wants to manipulate you. It means acknowledging that their version of reality doesn't have to become your reality. And this, my friends, is where the real work begins. You have to stop letting them dictate your worth. Stop letting them tell you that your thoughts and emotions don't matter. It's about getting to a place where you trust yourself so much that their words no longer hold power over you. You need to rediscover your own sense of self-worth, your own sense of truth, and you can only do that when you start seeing the narcissist for who they truly are. Someone who is not capable of loving you the way you deserve, someone who only cares about using you to get what they need. You may feel like you've lost yourself in the process, but it's not too late. You can reclaim your identity. You can rebuild your confidence, and you can stop letting a narcissist control your reality. It takes time. It takes courage. But the moment you start to recognize the gaslighting for what it is, the moment you realize that you don't need their validation, you'll begin to take back your power. And once you do that, you'll never let anyone make you question your worth again. It's so easy to get caught up in the cycle of seeking validation from someone who doesn't truly have your best interest at heart. We all want to feel seen, heard, and loved. We all want that affirmation that we matter. It's natural. But here's the hard truth that you need to hear when you rely on a narcissist to validate your worth. You are giving them the power to control you, and they know this. They know how to manipulate you into constantly seeking their approval, their recognition, and their love. They know exactly how to use your need for validation against you. In the beginning, it feels so good, right? They bomb you with attention, praise, and affection. They tell you that you're everything they've ever wanted, that you're special, that you're unique. They build you up so high until you think you've found someone who truly sees you. But as soon as you start to depend on that praise, they begin to withhold it. They pull back. They start testing you, seeing how far they can push you before you begin to feel unsure of yourself. And here's the kicker, they thrive on this. The more you beg for that validation, the more power they have over you. What's happening here is a dangerous game of emotional manipulation. It's gaslighting, but it's also a cycle of emotional dependency. Narcissists thrive on creating an environment where you feel emotionally addicted to them, where you feel like you need their approval in order to feel good about yourself. The more you chase their approval, the more it reinforces their hold on you. They are master manipulators, and they know that if they can make you feel small, uncertain, or unworthy, they can always bring you back in with a little dose of affection or praise. It's like a drug. They give you just enough to keep you hooked. This becomes a toxic pattern. Instead of feeling empowered and strong in your own skin, you begin to rely on someone else to tell you that you matter. You start doubting your own sense of self-worth. And the worst part is, you start thinking that without their love, without their praise, you're nothing. This is a game they play so well, and if you're not careful, you can lose yourself in it completely. You need to realize that when you're constantly seeking validation from someone who doesn't truly care about your well-being, you're not only giving away your power, you're also denying yourself the opportunity to truly know who you are. You are more than just someone's source of validation. You are more than just someone's emotional supply. But as long as you continue to look to them for approval, you'll never be able to fully tap into your own potential, your own strength, and your own self-worth. This is where you need to draw the line. You need to stop looking outside of yourself for approval. You need to start looking inward. Your worth doesn't come from someone else's opinion of you. It comes from you. You are the one who gets to define your value. You are the one who gets to decide what makes you worthy. And guess what? It's not about how much someone else praises you. It's about how much you love and respect yourself, how much you honor your boundaries, and how much you believe in your own potential. I want you to stop seeking approval from people who only give it to you when it benefits them. Start learning to validate yourself. Start learning to be proud of who you are, what you've accomplished, and how far you've come. You don't need anyone else's permission to feel good about yourself. You don't need anyone else's recognition to know that you matter. This isn't easy. I get it, but it's necessary. You can't keep living in a space where you are constantly seeking validation from someone who doesn't have your best interests at heart. You have to break that cycle. You have to start putting the work into yourself to discover your own self-worth and to stop letting someone else dictate how you feel about yourself. You are not someone's emotional supply. You are not someone's source of validation. You are powerful. You are worthy.